The back-and-forth battle over early voting in Ohio takes another turn.
The ruling itself not only doesn't make legal sense, it doesn't make practical sense.
And just let the people vote. That's all he has to do. Just let the people vote.
Now the Supreme Court will have the final say.
Secretary of State Jon Husted is taking the fight to the highest court. He has rejected the federal court's ruling that allows voters to cast ballots in the last 3 days before the election.
It's a federal court ruling that gives new power to the federal government to regulate how states run elections. I just fundamentally believe that's wrong.
Cavante Smalls tells us how this latest development impacts County Board of Election offices and local voters.
The term busy is an understatement for election officials throughout the Miami Valley, and there's a lot riding on whether or not early voting is allowed on those final 3 days before the election. With an average of 700 people coming in to vote, the Montgomery County Board of Elections is like organized chaos. At the helm of it all, Elections Director Steve Harsman.
With the ruling, I think more hours is needed based on the past practice of voters.
Friday, a federal appeals court reinstated in-person early voting the last 3 days before the election. However, Monday, Secretary of State Jon Husted announced he plans to appeal that decision.
No, I think people should be allowed to vote the last 3 days.
We should be trying to give more days for people to vote, not taking away days.
Former Board of Election members Dennis Lieberman and Tom Ritchie, who were both fired in a dispute over early voting hours, say Husted is simply adding more confusion to the election process.
But yet he continues to push it further down the road, further delays. You know, it's going to make it more difficult for people.
What is so wrong with giving people an opportunity to vote? He obviously thinks that's wrong, or he wouldn't be appealing this.
For Harsman, politics aside, he says more time makes the elections office run smoother for its busiest period in 4 years.
I would hope that based on the court's ruling, they will leave it up to the local boards of elections. Our board already had extended hours passed for this election cycle.
In Dayton, I'm Cavante Smalls reporting.
Husted plans to review voting hours in all 88 counties before establishing uniformed voting hours. And that brings us to our question of the day. Do you agree with Jon Husted's decision to appeal the circuit court's ruling and fight it to the Supreme Court? Let us know on Facebook.com/ABC22 Dayton or vote on ABC22now.com under the question of the day.